Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie, and I'm a full-time trader in the crypto and Forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin. Remember, this is not financial advice. It's just my bias and the way I see the market. If it's a holiday for you today, happy Easter, and let's get started. All right, so we're on the weekly time frame. You can see where our support and resistances are. You can also see that we have these gaps. Will we fill them? We'll have to wait and see. Let's talk about the RSI for just a second here. If we were to come down and potentially hold 30K, it would be a very good thing to hold this upward motion in weekly. It would create bullish divergence, and that would be something that we would desperately need. Even if we were to lose 30K level and say we got lucky and hold 25K, if we can hold this upward motion in weekly, that's going to be a big divergence that we need. Okay, you can see that if we lose 30K, that we've got a little bit of support coming in at 24K, where this gap is. If we lose that, the next support is right around 19,000 over here where this little fourth wave was. If we lose that, we're coming down into this big support we have here on the top of the 20, well, not quite the 20K bull run, on the top of the 14K bull run. You can obviously see where it comes in. Okay, on top of 20K, we do have support there too, but it's not as strong, as you can see, as what is coming in around 14K. Okay, not saying that we're going to go all the way down there. All I'm showing you is if we lose one support, where the next one is. The daily. You can see we are sandwiched between resistance at approximately 47,300 and support where we're sitting right now in price. We are sitting right on support. So we're being sandwiched between it. If we were to get a leg up, we're going to have to see, does it find resistance in the same area that we did before, or can we break through? If we want any chance of making triangle, we need to break through. And we need to get up here for the triangle count. As you can see, we've got a way to get up there, and that is that we will assume that we have not used this leg yet as a partner leg. That this leg is either making a three-wave move, or I'm going to show you a slightly different count, but it still gets us up there. But we need to pivot soon and turn and get up there for the triangle and not come down and hit this trend line. If we hit the trend line again, triangle in my book will be invalidated. So we really need to pivot here soon. WXY count is still on the table. There's not a lot that's new. Yes, I'm kind of repeating myself here, but WXY is still on the table. The only question is X done here and we're on our way to head down? Or is X going to try to extend out a little bit? Do we bonk our heads on resistance? Or does X go up to next resistance? Or are we able to get all the way up there for triangle? Okay, that's pretty much the sum of it. Is it done? Do we get another leg that it extends it out and it hits resistance here? Or do we get another leg and it comes up here? or does it go higher for triangle? And we'll talk about it when we get into the lower count. All right, let's talk about RSI real quick here. We have reset. As it stands right now, we have bullish divergence. We have this upwards motion and downwards motion. So we do have bullish divergence right now. If price loses this support and takes out approximately 37,000, these pivots right in this area, if price comes down and takes them out, we will lose the daily divergence. Okay, keep that in mind. I talk a lot about zones and transitions. When we failed to hold 40, the daily failed to hold 40, it lost its transition. So to transition now, we're going to have to push up over 70. We're going to have to hold 40 to 50 and then push back up over 70 again. It could do it, okay? It could go up for triangle, pull back for E, that would be this 40 hold, and then on our way out of here for the big fifth wave would push us back over 70, and then we would trend in the bullish range like we did back here when we were really trending, which is from 40 up above 70. This is what we need to get back and do. Okay? All right, let's talk about what's going on in the lower time frames here. Like I said, not a lot has changed. Actually, I don't think anything has changed since my last video. But we'll talk about it again. All right, the diagonals. The leading is in white. If we were to come down with one more little rollover here, I could move this white line down and it would still be a diagonal. Okay, here's white. If we were to have one more rollover, the ending diagonal would end up being an expanding diagonal. What we cannot do for the expanding diagonal is take out wave 2's price. So we cannot take out $37,560. It can't happen. Or expanding diagonal comes off the table. Expanding ending diagonal. It has to make a higher low than wave 2 here. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay. Can it? We need a fifth wave though, and we need it in 3 waves. So whether it rolls over one more time and then 3 waves it up, or somehow it starts climbing correctively now, we need a fifth wave for both diagonals. Okay? But in my book, both diagonals, if they lose this support right here, they won't be valid anymore. It would really take some finagling. And pretty much the only one that would be left on the table is the leading. But we would be thinking more of an expanding at that point. Okay? All right. So the lower count that I'm really leaning towards is this one. And let's talk about it a little bit. It is saying that this whole middle move here was a connector. So basically all of this is connecting this leg, this 3-wave leg, and we're going to get a partner leg for it. And that all this is a middle. It can be WXY also, but I have it as ABC. The big question is when is B wave here going to end? As it stands now, if we're going to use this leg, I think we need another rollover because what we're doing right here is very corrective. So the big question is, are we going to hold the 1-to-1? Are we going to lose the 1-to-1 and come down to the 1.236? This B wave can come all the way down to 30,294. And you need to watch out for this because I talked about it many times, how this happened back here. We were wanting to hold the prior fourth just like we're doing now. There was an area that we didn't want to break. We were looking for a fifth wave. 1, 2, 3, 4. We wanted the big fifth wave to the upside. The market was consolidating. Same thing we're doing now. And they dropped it down. And they swept the lows here, like the 30K where we're at now. And up came candle. It's the same thing. It's going to be a flat. Can be a WXY. But if they do it and they bring it down and they sweep these lows, most likely it'll be a flat. Because let's get down on the 8-hour. If it does it, let's see. We've already reset. So depending on how low this comes, like if we were to hold the 1-to-1, we have a high probability of having a reversal divergence here in an 8-hour. So if it rolls over, this will be lower and this will be upper. That's a reversal divergence. If we come down into these lower fibs, it's a high probability that we probably wipe it out, but it would be a big reset on the 8-hour again. On the 4-hour, same thing. If we roll over, there's a high chance that this 4-hour is going to hold this upward motion and we'll have this downward motion. That is a reversal divergence. It just all depends on how low this B wave wants to go and whether the 4 and 8-hour can hold the upwards motion as this comes down. First area that I will be looking is right here at this 2.236 at 38,900. Right here at this support. If it doesn't hold, then I will be looking at the 1-to-1. If it doesn't hold, then I'll be looking at the 1.382 because there's not a lot sitting here at the 1.236, but I will be looking at that one too. And then last on the list is 30,294. Now every time, say we were to roll over to the 2.236, we need a 5-wave move. If we don't get it, and we make 3-wave flat, say, that means we're coming down to the next one. If we don't make a 5-wave move without any invalidations, and we make a 3-wave, it means we're coming down to the next one. If we come down to the 1.382, and we make a flat, well, guess what, guys? We're coming down to the next one. And if we come down this low, what we have to ask ourselves, say we come down to the 1.382 and now we finally get 5 waves. Well, we need to be careful because this can be a truncated C wave and be a running flat, and that is extremely bearish. But it has to hit at least the 618. So let's see what that would look like. And what do you know? The 618 is coming in right above this resistance. So say it wicks through it a little bit and we pull this down, 618 is coming right there at that first resistance. So it's something that's in the future, but pay attention to where this B wave could potentially land and where we potentially could get the C wave up. Okay? Doesn't have to roll over that deep. I will be watching each one of these. All right, let's talk about, is there a possible way? And you can see that we're sandwiched in between here too. So not only are we sandwiched here in the low, but we're sandwiched in this little guy too. But is there any possible way that we could head up from here for that fifth wave of the diagonal? Or maybe that it's not a B wave and it's a X wave, W, X, Y. Okay, and maybe Y is going to be a complex structure. Well, I don't usually go down this far, but let's take a look. We're in this parallel channel. Right now, we definitely have a three-wave move to start. We have a three-wave move down. All corrections have three parts. They're either 333 WXY, 335 flat, or 535 zigzag. But as you can see, they all have three parts. So if we have three and we have three, it can only be one of these. Right now, as it looks at this leg here, it looks like it can only be the third one, the three. So if we don't make this a connector, and make this leg partner up with a leg to the upside that potentially comes to the top of the channel, this would complete a correction. W, X, Y. What it would need to do to start climbing correctively is it would need to not break the lows and continue this over here. What it would need to do, and let me get this off of here. It would need to pull back in a three-wave move. May even do 3 and 3 to complete a correction. Bigger connector here. This is how it can climb. Now it will connect all of this to the upside. Then when it gets up here, if it wants to climb higher, it will make, again, three-wave move, maybe 5 this time. And now this becomes connector for this whole leg. And that's how we can get up higher. Okay? So if it's going to climb up for that fifth wave for the diagonals, or it's going to try to climb up, let's see, for, yes, the fifth wave of the diagonal, or there's some way that it could climb correctively from here, that's how it's going to have to do it. We need to hold channel and make a connector and start climbing. It would be a corrective climb. There's no way possible from this low that we can take off bullishly because it started in 3 waves. Okay. So I hope this gave you a little bit of clarity of where we are now, what we need to do, and what potential future counts are there for us. And I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday, and I'll see you in the next one.